Hello there, players. Hey, Skylin.
Hey, Gally.
Good evening, guys.
Hi, James.
How are you guys doing?
Good.
Got a brand new stove today.
Woohoo!
And I nearly joined the wrong Discord channel.
Well, you got to the right one. That's what's important.
Did.
So glad I got my new stove today. It was, oh my God, 3 weeks without a stove.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
At least I didn't have to pay out for it, so that's all that matters. And they forgot to bring a pigtail, so they ended up paying me to go get a pigtail.
Oh my goodness.
Well, the guy with the cash was, here's $40. Will that cover it? Yep. And I ordered it right online as he sat right here. Like, yep, there you go. I'll go pick it up this afternoon. So we're good. Got to cook a pizza.
Good. Nice way to celebrate the new.
Oh yeah, breaking the stove the right way.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've been doing all right.
Hey, Snivy. Good to see you on the Twitch. And yes, players, because I forgot last week. Oh, it makes me so mad when I do that. It's like there's always a trade-off with something. When we used to use the Roll20 jukebox, there was all kinds of issues with getting that to load and play in a timely manner, and B, despite the fact that it was Roll20 jukebox and it was supposed to be copyright free, a lot of times you would get little sections of the break or sections of the pregame that would get muted because it was somebody had a copyright claim on that music. And so it's like, all right, that's no good. So then we go and we use Stream Beats, which is great in terms of your no copyright hits and it's good music and everything like that. But because of the way I have to run it, I can't hear the Stream Beats on my headphones. And the players can't hear the Stream Beats on the headphones unless they go over and turn the stream on and watch or listen to the stream. And so last week, I got to the break and realized that because of all the troubleshooting we were doing with somebody's mic at the beginning of the episode, I didn't turn the music all the way down until we got to the end of the break. So it's like, So now I've gone ahead and turned it down before we get started, just in case. All right, so I see Goonie, Ivy, James, Michael, and Paul. Wonderful. Perfect timing there. Okay. And so we know that, as Ken mentioned on the Discord, one of our players will not be joining us tonight because he has run into some difficulty while traveling. So, welcome, players. Welcome, viewers. My name is DM Galabon. It's Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. Eastern. I have a cup that is filled with some Coke and some
rum.
Florida distilled rum. And
Ooh, we might have a good night tonight.
well, I usually have some sort of beverage to start the evening, and then I get hot tea at the break because my voice is starting to get tired by then. So give it some hot tea with honey at that point in time.
Good
All
stuff.
right. Last time, the party met 2 new people. They met a woman from Barovia named Irina Koliana, who had, well, let's just say she had drawn some unwanted interest from certain persons in the Valley of Barovia. And we also met a dog, which turned out to be a furbolg, or a furbolg, which turned out to be a dog, depending on whether you ask Krenraid or somebody else in the party. And they joined up with the party and traveled to Kresk with them. And when we left last time, they were just arriving at the gates of the Abbey of St. Markovia, which is right up here on the map. And so as you get as you get to this point on the map, you look into the gates, and you don't see anything, but you hear something. You hear something that sounds like it is. Whoops! I'm sorry. I need to move us to this.
Does Galley have dynamic lighting on, or is that Fog of War?
It's dynamic lighting.
Ooh, Galley.
Now,
Nice.
the question is. Whoops! Dang it! Whoops!
The question is, whoops, dang it.
No, this is a. Okay, come on. Come on, you recenter the stupid screen for me. Okay. Well, fiddle faddle. So there is a plan that has gone awry. All right, let me. Yeah, the problem is that. Okay, I need to get a. Oh. No. There we go. Okay, and then oops. This is something that I envisioned having to do a long time ago, and I think it's one of the reasons that one of the other reasons that I didn't do the Where the hell is it? There it is. There we go. Now the stream can actually see what's on there. Because in order for the stream to see with dynamic lighting on, I basically have to give the streaming computer a character that has vision. So that it will show that. That's kind of the bad and inefficient thing about dynamic lighting in this game. That's one thing that they need. One of the many things that they need to fix in Roll20 is that if you are the DM and you're showing a player's view from another perspective, allow full visibility to everything that the players can see, so that your streaming audience can see what the players are seeing. Okay, so you kind of come into this little area here, and you don't see anyone, but you hear something. And the place that you hear something from is okay, I'm going to have to do this with a stupid arrow. Because okay. You are hearing it from over, I guess actually it would be, you can hear sound coming from this direction.
So sound coming from the trees or somewhere from the wall?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sound coming from the trees, and the sound is like shh, stay quiet.
What? I will throw Casper. I'll bring Casper in and command Casper to fly over to that area.
Do you have Sangzor on the map?
No, because remember you sent him off into the woods.
Oh, that's right.
When going into town. Same with the two critters from the bag of tricks. Okay, so as Casper gets over there, he sees.
I'm in a dog form, right? If we're entering town, or
yeah, you can be. I've just put your token there for
nope, that's
expediency's sake.
Nope, you're good.
Oh, whoops! Crap. Come on. All right.
Can you guys hear this, by the way?
I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Coming through loud and clear.
Appreciate that.
You see two figures, Casper sees two figures, and I guess if you're looking through Casper's eyes, you would see them there. They appear to be hiding behind the one of the trees. They are strange-looking people. The one person, they both are humanoid. One person has the head of a human with the snout of a dog, and one ear is a human ear. The other ear is a dog ear. His arms are humanoid. His legs, however, appear to be canine. And he kind of squats instead of standing upright, and it looks like he has a tail. The other person is a mostly a human-ish person, except that his eyes kind of look like the eyes of a cat, and he's got on his face and down one arm kind of thick fur, sort of like a cat, and his hand is sort of a looks like the paw of a cat, but articulated with a thumb and 4 fingers. And the other hand, or the other arm, is like a human arm with a human hand on it. And they and he's sort of quivering as he's standing next to the tree. And when Casper flies over, they sort of look up and they go, "Go away! They'll see us." They hiss up to the owl.
Seeing this, would I have any idea of what I'm seeing? Like what would cause the half different forms of animal and person?
Make me a well, this would be something that perhaps you have read about. Make me a history check, and Irina and Des, you can both make a survival check.
And so we'll just say that since I'm looking through Casper's eyes, I can't see through my own eyes. I can't hear what others are saying, but I will just describe what I am seeing.
Okay.
So everyone's aware of what's going on.
Okay. And anybody else who wants to can make a history check as well, since he's describing this.
I'm too busy looking for the voices that will whisper in the background.
Wow. Okay. Some of you guys were paying attention. All right. Mulek and Thaldor and Des. Okay. Mulek and Thaldor, you have read about this, but you've never seen it in person. Des, you've actually spotted 1 or 2 of these since you've been in Barovia. Okay. What you're looking at is Mongrelfolk.
Mongrel.
Yeah, Mongrelfolk they're really a very sad and rare type of creature. They were originally created as the result of slaves being experimented on by evil arcane wizards, and doing all kinds of strange experiments where they would try to combine different types of life forms and create. They were basically trying to create hybrid human-animal intelligent, either servants or slaves or gladiators or whatever the case may be. And perhaps maybe 1 in 20 of these Mongrelfolk actually is viable and can reproduce with another Mongrelfolk. Most of them that were created were sterile. Kind of like, what is it? A mule is a cross
Yeah.
between a donkey and a horse, but it's sterile. So the and these two, they're clearly they're trying to avoid being seen, but they don't seem like the brightest bulbs on the tree.
So I'll just yell out, friends, come on out. We mean you no harm.
And then hear one of them say, "Do you think he's talking to us?" And the other one says, "Let me look." And after a couple of minutes, said, "No, I don't think so."
Yes, I'm talking to you.
There's several.
No, he's talking to the person behind you.
Ah! And one of them jumps out, and then that's quickly followed by the other one who jumps out. And I'm sorry, everybody, I'm terribly sorry. Roll20 is being really slow for me tonight, so it's my turn to have the crappy response time from.
Get off that bootleg McDonald's Wi-Fi, Galley.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the funny thing is I've even got the thing hardwired. I've even got my laptop hardwired in. So they come out and they look at you, and one of them carries a shovel, and you can see this whole area here looks like a graveyard. A bunch of different graves and headstones and everything. And then over in this corner, there's a couple of graves that looks like are being dug right now. And one of them has a shovel, and they look at you, and the one that has the sort of canine face, he just sort of lifts his head. "You're strangers. What do you come here for?"
We was invited here.
"The Abbot invited you?"
What was the name? Octavio, or should I say
Abbott. Right, Abbott. Name's Mulek. We're just coming up to visit with Abbott.
Oh,
Des romps around a little bit.
it's all right. It's all right. They Abbott invited them. Otto, welcome them. I'll go inside and get the Abbot. This is the one that's talking is the one that has the sort of cat's eyes and cat fur, and he goes over here, and then he makes his way along here. Whoops. And he goes and disappears into the building. Okay. All right. And then the other one, the one that's called Otto, moves up towards you, and he says, Zigfrek will be back. Oh. I'm Otto Bellevue. One of you is Mulek?
Yeah,
Is that what you said?
Mulek's my name. Yeah, why were you hiding in those trees?
The abbot says that we should not scare people.
Oh, that's okay. You aren't scary to us.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. The abbot gives us a place to stay. Everyone else tries to kill us.
Did you dig all these graves?
Oh, no. I've just dug 2 or 3 of them. Oh, these? The brothers and sisters of the Abbot of the Abbey have been burying people here for, well, ever since St. Markovia's day, I guess. I presume that's why they call it the Abbey of St. Markovia, because one time she must have lived here. Her portrait is all over the place.
Makes sense. Have you lived here long?
Me? I've only been here a couple of years. I was in Vallaki. Vallaki's not a very nice place. That Isaac Strasny, he always made fun of me. Put me in the stocks. Let people throw their rotten food at me.
Yeah, I could see how that wouldn't be enjoyable.
And then after a bit, you see that the door that the other fellow went in, that door opens again. And this time there are 2 figures that emerge. Whoops, okay. Philly. Come on here, you. Alright, you come out here. And then you come on out here too. Come on. There we go. Slow.
It's okay, Gally. We understand. Hey, Mulek.
Yeah.
These people, what in the world? I know what they are, but I'm whispering. Actually, I'm speaking this in Elvish because I know he can understand Elvish.
Yeah, just go with it. I don't think they mean us any harm. I'm freaking out a little bit too, but I'm trying not to show it.
And the okay. The Abbot comes out, and the Abbot is a handsome young man in brown monk's robes, And he wears a painted wooden holy symbol that depicts the sun. And it hangs from a chain around his neck. And he moves almost with the grace of a dancer. And the holy symbol that he is wearing, you guys know exactly what that is because it's the same holy symbol that Rictavio gave you, I guess, earlier in the day when you met him at the Blue Water Inn. It's the old stylized holy symbol of Lathander. And as the abbot comes out, he says, "Oh, hello, friends. Welcome to the Abbey of St. Markovia. I am the abbot. How may I help you?" And at that, Rictavio will sort of step up, and he will say, "Oh, Abbot, Your Eminence, I was hoping that I would find you here. We have brought someone who needs protection." And the abbot sort of looks around, and then as he looks across all of you, his eyes finally settle on Irina, and then his eyes widen a little bit, and he says, "Oh, she lives again." And Rictavio says, "Yes, Abbot, I'm afraid so. Afraid she does live again." And then the abbot beckons to Irina and says, "Child, step forward if you will, please."
She'll step forward, but then she'll be not going to get close because the talk of, "Oh, she lives again," kind of puts her in a foul mood.
And the abbot looks at you, and he looks at the scarf you have around your neck, and he says, "How many times has he visited you, child?"
She kind of looks back at the group and then thinks to herself for a moment and says, "He's visited me many times, but 2.
And then Rictavio and the abbot both, they gasp. And Rictavio says, "You are lucky we got you here as soon as we did. Had he visited you a third time, you would be a thrall under his control by now." And the abbot nods gravely and says, "Yes, indeed. The wards hold on this place, but I'm afraid they only hold inside the building. For you to be safe here, you must stay inside. If you step out of the building, even into the courtyard here, you could be in danger. And what of the rest of you? Have any of you been visited?"
When he says thrall, does Mulek know what that means?
You would know in a general sense that a thrall is someone who's kind of like a slave or a servant. Mystically, there are creatures that can, control people's minds and basically make them a, a slave to do, to do the actions that they want them to do and to act the way they want them to act and everything. And I mean, powerful wizards can do that. Some kind of powerful monsters can do that. And vampire lords can do that.
So who are we talking about visiting? I don't recall I've been visited by any strange being.
The abbot gives you kind of a wry smile. He says, "Oh, my son, you would know. I speak of the lord of this land, Strahd von Zarevich. Your companion there," and he points to Irina. She is the very likeness, down to the last hair on her head, the very likeness of Tatiana, the woman that Strahd gave up his soul and slew his own brother to try to possess. And Tatiana, the original Tatiana, threw herself from the walls of Castle Ravenloft to avoid falling into Strahd's grasp. But her soul was trapped here, and she can never rest. She is reborn, sometimes even through an act of cruelty. Sometimes she is reborn outside the mists. But somehow Strahd always knows and sends his Vistani thugs to find her and bring her here to him. But every time he thinks he has her in his grasp, she eludes him, either through an act of her own sacrifice or through some intervention that none of the rest of us can fathom. But her fate is always the same. She dies, and her soul is trapped and never free, never able to go to the afterlife, always waiting to be reborn, to torment Strahd yet again, so that he can torment her.
And you're saying that the only way that she can live out the rest of her life without becoming a slave is to live in your Abbey here for the rest of her life?
Well, that is the only way that I know of that is certain. If somehow a way is discovered for her to leave Barovia, she will be hunted down and brought back, or she will be killed in the attempt. If she stays in Barovia and does not stay in the Abbey, then Strahd will visit her a third time, will make her his thrall, and she will spend whatever time is allotted to her trapped in Castle Ravenloft, doomed to sleep in a crypt by day in the dungeons of the castle and rise by night with Strahd himself. And she will be miserable until somehow she is destroyed and ripped from Strahd's grasp. Even if he manages to turn her, he will never possess her. And that will be an agony like Strahd has never known. And it will be the cruelest fate possible. The only other option, the only way to free Irina Kolyana from Strahd is to destroy Strahd himself. Then she would be free.
While this conversation is going on, I whisper to Thalador, who's standing right next to me. I whisper in Elvish, "Man, sucks to be her." Well, Irina, what? I guess you've heard the man. What are your intentions?
We're gonna kind of give out a cough at first and kind of try and straighten herself to fix her posture, hopefully correct her mindset and say, before I make any decision, I would like to have a meeting with my friends here before I dare to step inside that place.
Take that, meow meow.
And
No, the cat wants to be part of the meeting. Fair enough.
and the Abbot and Rictavio, they both look at Irina. Rictavio seems a little bit almost surprised that she would question the Abbot, but the Abbot just sort of looks and gives kind of a sad smile, and he nods his head. He says, of course, my dear. And then the Abbot looks at Rictavio and says, would you like to come inside and have some tea? And Rictavio looks at the rest of you, looks at Irina, and then he says, yes, I think some tea would do me good. By the way, we were down in the village, and the Burgomeister was asking after you. And as they walk into the Abbey, you can hear him sort of telling the Abbot a little bit about what the Burgomeister had said. Okay, so you guys are out in the courtyard here.
Irina will give them a good, like, almost bow type thing, saying enjoy their tea, as she turns on her heel and turns to everyone else, trying to get in the middle of everything, and says, here's the situation at hand. Either I can go burn in the building with Strahd, or I can burn in this building being kept up and not having anything to do for the rest of my life. And I am not one to do that.
So there.
Gypsy. She gets really emotional whenever I have a different tone of voice. She's like, what the fuck?
So there.
So, the situation at hand is either you guys can help me get out of this place, or I shall do it on my own.
That's your life. Makes sense to me. We're trying to get out of this place too.
So no reason we can't all go in the same direction. As in out.
Well, the
Does
situation. Go.
you've seen the kind of some of the folk that live here. You can sort of make up your mind whether you think that you would seem out of place if you want to take part in a conversation with the rest of them.
I'll just kind of, since this is still a new party to me, I'm just kind of listening in.
Okay.
And I can nod or shake my head or whatever.
Okay.
Okay, now you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know what was going on.
Okay,
So,
yeah, we couldn't hear you for a while.
Nah, that was weird. So I look over at Irina and I say, Irina, to be honest with you, you have great spirit, but I think if we take you to the castle, you'd be a liability. I would almost recommend you stay here in this protection. Not saying forever, but if we were to go visit the castle, you would be a huge liability to this group. You could get us killed.
Irina's shoulders kind of drop in despair as she says, well, I'm not going to be like this wandering spirit. I must do something about my life, my destiny, try and break the chains. Someone else doesn't have to suffer.
Well, that's fair in all honesty. But as I'm saying, if you get anywhere near Strahd, we would be, what's the proverbial saying, putting the cart before the horse? We wouldn't be able to get anything done because if he gets his hands on you, we're screwed. Know what I'm saying? Then you'd just be stuck in a repetitive cycle over and over and over again.
She kind of nods her head and says, no matter what, I'm stuck in this cycle. So, what's the worst that can happen? But I don't want to put anyone else's lives at risk. My father died because of this curse that's set upon me. My brother's suffering. My whole town's suffering. So, I know he's going to chase me here somehow and break the seal and come get me.
Mulek, do you have any ideas?
No, I mean, I can understand Irina's feelings, but I absolutely understand what you're saying about putting ourselves in jeopardy. I just don't know what the next steps are. I mean, all we've heard is that to get out of this place it's all pointing one direction, and that's to Strahd. And it seems that we may be making an appearance there at some point, and I believe it would be dangerous if Irina was with us at that time unless we had a way to disguise her, which I don't think we can. I don't think we have any way to disguise her from Strahd, is what it appears.
No, I like where you're thinking. You're right. I don't no amount of any disguise kit, disguise self, anything. I don't think that would work. I'm just debating. Like, I know you can handle yourself. You seem like a young woman that can handle a sword, a blade. I commend you. But I'm just thinking that if you were to go, it would put your life at risk, and not only that, but ours, because if you're the thing he desires and wants the most, well, 2 and 2 together in my head is that he's going to do whatever he can to get his hands on you, whether we try to stop him or not.
And as you all are talking, the Abbot emerges by himself this time from the Abbey, and you can tell he's got a walking staff, which he did not have before, and he also has a satchel over one shoulder that hangs down at one hip. And he is striding with some purpose toward the gate of the Abbey. And he will go ahead and he will come up, and as he gets to you, he pauses, and he will look at Thal'dor and Mulek and Krenraid, and he will say, the hunter's apprentice got here before him. I do not know how their reunion will go, but you may have another ally here. I must go visit the house of the Burgermeister. I will be back within a couple of hours. There is food in the kitchens, and some of the staff can make up rooms for you if you wish to stay and plan your next steps, or if you want to talk more with Rictavio and his apprentice. And then he looks and he says, Otto, Zigfrek, come on, those graves won't dig themselves. You don't need to be worried about these people. They're not going to hurt you. And so the two Mongrelfolk, they're like, yes, Abbott, yes. And then they say, come, let's go. And so they head back over here towards the corner, and they start to work again on the graves that they were digging. And then the Abbot will go ahead and leave and head on outside the gates, and then he will just go out there. All right, and head on down towards the village.
Did you guys understand what he said? The hunter's apprentice got here before him. What was that all about?
Somebody, I guess, that Rictavio knows. I would take it. That's what I kind of get. Yeah, I was about to say. I know Krenraid could probably use a good meal.
I'm fine. I'm more interested in what those guys are, to be honest. They remind me too much of a cute dog, but they're man and dog. Are they? I'm so confused by this man-dog business.
We'll explain that if we go sit down. I don't want to be rude, so we'll explain it to you later. So I explain it to Krenraid later. I'm just gonna fast forward that. Yeah. I explain to Krenraid what they are, because that'd be a long conversation trying to explain to Krenraid when a mommy mongrel and a daddy mongrel, So I just because I hate to say it, I love Krenraid, but yeah, it's a very special hug. Creates the mongrels you see there.
It's only the fact that, like, 2 sessions now, Krenraid's seen a dog turn into a man and a man dog, and he's very confused about what is
completely
actually
different. Completely different.
Well, yeah, but not Krenraid then.
To Krenraid, it's all part and parcel of the same sort of foolishness.
Weirdness.
Yeah, it's you know how you don't like the finger wagglers. These are evil finger wagglers.
It's not that I don't like the finger wagglers. It's just that I don't get it.
Well, this is done by evil men who.
We'll shake her head and put her hand up to her forehead and saying, "This is way off track of where I want to be."
Des just goes at the finger waggler thing. He's like, I don't understand.
Well, should we go inside so at least we have eyes on Rictavio and this hunter's apprentice and have further discussion?
I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
And I look over at Des. Des, just stay next to me. I'll take care of you. Just stay next to me.
And about this time, he kind of like stands over by Irina and goes,
And he
Like-
gives him a small kind of smile and just kind of pushes his butt a bit so he'll go off after him.
I'm gonna have Casper just stay outside the Abbey and just have him just fly around and alert me if he sees anything approaching that looks out of the ordinary.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So you guys can go on up there and you all can head on in, and I will move my token up there in a moment. Unfortunately, I'm having to do some adjustments, and I'm really hating the fact that Roll20 is being
There you go.
spam
You can
slow.
just go through the door, James.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. You just go through the door.
Magic.
Yep. Very
"Are
much.
we missing someone tonight?"
Ken.
Ken.
Oh,
Captain
he
Charisma.
sorry.
Yeah, sure. That's what CC stands for.
Well, he's not here to defend himself, so I can't call him the other thing. But Captain Charisma works.
What is
Okay.
this? Once we come in here?
Okay. Yeah, let me go ahead and do that because this is taking too damn long. So let me go get this other token. Sorry,
Des, if you sit by my feet at the dinner table, I'll make sure I throw you some scraps.
And you get this look down the long nose of this wolfhound, kind of like a.
Right, and maybe some ear scratches.
He's just like, you get this look, this eyebrow raise, like, really?
Does his appetite change when he's in a different form? Does he like to eat different things?
No, I mean, you don't know, but
I know, that's why I'm asking. I'm talking to Thaldor. I'm like, what if
I don't know.
What if you threw it like raw meat or something? Would he eat it?
I don't.
about that
I don't
time
know.
you hear this gagging noise.
Yeah, I take it that he don't
I'm
like
pretty
that.
sure he wants a plate of his own, not some
Okay.
scraps.
Well, I wasn't trying to be mean. I mean, I look over at Arena. Hello, incognito, and point down at the dog. It'd be kind of weird for the dog. And I'm gonna whisper this. It'd be kind of weird if the dog had its own plate and sat at the table. I mean, I'm trying to play this as cool as I can.
Irene
Would
puts her
be
hands on her
hella
hips and
cute.
says, "You don't give your dog a plate? I give my Maxwell a wonderful plate of food. So if you are daring to take my dog from
Des
me,
is like,
you can give him a plate."
Des nods like, yeah, so there.
Okay, fine. I'll make sure the dog gets a plate.
Okay. So. Yeah. Oh man, that's so different. Okay. I'm going to refresh and see.
It's a
if the
Barovian
stupid
commoner. Is that
That's
just
just
if
the
this-
token he's using for
Yeah.
the stream.
for the stream. All right. So let me give you the information on this this area here. So
Yeah, the Barovian commoner we can just pretend is like the nosy neighbor that just kind of follows us around.
what are you doing?
You don't see the man behind the curtain. You don't see the
Pay no
man behind
attention
the
to the man
curtain.
behind the curtain.
Exactly.
I am the great and powerful
Commoner.
Wizard of Oz.
There are millions
What
of
the
us.
part
only
he
5
didn't
of
know
you.
is the commoner is God.
yeah,
Game
they-
operating director.
Yeah, game
There you
operating
go.
director. There you go. All right. Hey, does Thaldor have inspiration?
I do, sir.
Okay. Well, then you can give inspiration to anybody who has used it and needs it.
Who needs inspiration?
I've got it.
Heather,
Nope, I'm good.
Paul.
I got it last week.
Damn. Ivy.
I'm pretty sure I haven't.
Gally, just
Okay.
hold that one in the bank, and whoever needs it, whoever uses it first gets it.
Okay. All right. So this is the courtyard. This courtyard has a mist in it. It's surrounded by a 15-foot high curtain wall on which stand several guards, their backs to you. But now that you are in here and you're looking up, you realize that those, in quotes, guards are not guards at all. They are scarecrows, just standing up there on the walls. Not the kind of scarecrows Des has seen at the vineyard.
Yeah,
But the normal type of
just the
scarecrows.
normal stuffed vineyard.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, with
Anyways.
some armor on it and some weapons belted around their
you
middle.
see Des kind of like get on his hind legs and kind of puts his paws on the wall and looks up at these guys and then kind of like gets back down on all fours and you kind of hear him going.
Wooden doors to the north and east lead to the Abbey's two wings. In the center of the courtyard is a stone well fitted with an iron winch to which a rope and bucket are attached. You see Rictavio standing at the well, and he's opened it and he's looking down there, and he seems to be talking down into the well. Then along the perimeter of this room, tucked under the overhanging walls, are several stone sheds with padlocked wooden doors, as well as 3 shallow alcoves that contain wooden troughs. 2 wooden posts pounded into the rocky earth had iron rings bolted to them. And chained to one of those is a short humanoid who has bat wings and spider mandibles.
Whoa.
And that is this person.
Stay Crinraid.
Yeah. That is this person over in. Whoops. Come here. It's this person over in this direction. Is the person that has the bat wings and the spider mandibles. And Rictavio looks at you as you all come in and says, I believe that the Abbot is running a hostelry for those poor unfortunate souls that cannot find a place to live anywhere else. I would that there was another safe place that we could allow Irina to stay. But perhaps
Irina will kind of look to Thalador and them and say, "Oh yeah, it's safe now, isn't it?" Kind of giving them that glare.
Thalador just looks over at them, but before that, he's twirling a gold in his fingers, and he takes and flips it into the well, and says, he thinks to himself, just real quick. I guess everybody's staring at him. He's just thinking and say, "Okay, I wish for safe travel and protection from evil, and may our journey be a bountiful one." And then he opens his eyes and just probably sees everybody staring at him for throwing the gold in the well.
And you flip the, Rictavio has the lid of the well open. You flip the gold in, and then instead of hearing the gold piece splash into water or hit the ground, you hear something go, "Ow!" And
I knew it.
and then you hear something scrambling, and Rictavio just sets the lid of the well down, and he backs up, and he kind of motions for all of you to back away. And a humanoid scuttles up to the top of the well, and this is a person who has a wiry, spindly build. On the right side of his, or the left side of his face appears human. On the right side of the face, he has 3 red spider eyes.
Ugh.
I'm
And-
freaking out right now. Just like,
And
that ain't what I wished for. That's what I say out loud.
and his left hand appears to be a frog's front foot, and his right leg appears to be a taloned crow's leg and foot. And he
You hear Des trying to throw up again.
and he says, "Don't hit me! Don't hit me! It's rude to throw things down and hit me! Would you like it if somebody threw stuff down and hit you?" And then he just takes the gold piece and he just throws it on the ground. And he's like, "Mean people!
I didn't know you were in the well. I was making a wish.
You didn't know I was in the well. You didn't know I was in the
No.
well."
I didn't. I thought it was just water in the well. What's what normally is inside of wells. Sorry. Forgive me, but that you can keep
think
the
it was
gold
somebody's
piece.
home?
Not normally where we're from, but you can keep the gold
Well,
piece.
you're not where you're from. You're here.
That be true, sir. I'm sorry. Forgive me, but you can keep the gold piece, and better yet, I'll give you 2 more. Just I'm sorry.
What am I going to do with gold? Take your filthy gold.
It's
I don't
not
want
dirty,
gold.
but what would you like, sir?
Hey, GM. While he's
Yes.
being distracted with this guy, can I kind of trot around and then try to sneak up to hike my leg on this creature?
Oh my God, no!
Oh,
No.
jeez. Oh my goodness.
Oh no! I'm trying to be nice.
Oh yes. Do it.
How tall is this creature?
About 5 feet. Well, you can't tell because it's kind of hanging out the well, but I suppose.
Oh, okay. I
suppose
thought
you
he was
could guess
completely
he's
out
about-
of the well.
No. He's sort of hanging at the top of the well, and he looks at Des as Des comes around, and he says, "What do I want? I just want everything to be the same."
That might be a bit hard considering
All
your
right.
whole anatomy.
All my legs and arms the same. Not my face the same. That's all I want.
Uh,
And you do that.
I personally can't do that.
Did he just ask the dog?
Will it go away? And he scuttles back down in the well.
I feel like Thaldor's just thinking it himself and like, oh my God, I feel like an ass. But I didn't know. I mean, I just, okay.
Irene
So
comes up
I walk
behind him
over.
and gives him a big, huge thud on the back, saying it's okay. Don't worry.
I go pick the gold up off the ground. I'm not going to leave my gold laying on the
Yeah.
ground.
Faldo,
And-
you're going to need to explain that one to me as well.
Yeah, buddy. Mad scientist or mad mage gone mad? Because that's insane.
So would something like
I get that.
lesser restoration work on that creature?
Oh, Though I kind of doubt it. Let me just double check.
This is you touch a creature and can end either one disease or one condition afflicting it.
Oh, no.
So they were created that way, so it wouldn't be a disease or anything.
It's not a disease. It's not a disease, and it's not a condition at lesser restoration. And an original Mongrelfolk, you might be able to stretch it and try to convince somebody that an original Mongrelfolk, one that was created by magical experimentation, that might be a curse. But if it was a Mongrelfolk that was born with weird things, it's probably not cursed, because that's just the way it's always been. It probably would take something on the order of a wish spell.
I was trying. A for effort, Thaldor.
Mm-hmm.
And Rictavio looks at Thaldor and says, I believe that the Abbot is doing what he can, but gods preserve us. I hope this is not one of the effects of the vampire's curse on this land.
I want you all to make a promise to me right now. If I turn into something as hideous as that, kill me.
We wouldn't let that happen, Grinraid.
You promise me?
I promise, but I don't think I'd kill you.
And Rictavio looks at Crenraid and says, I don't think there's much chance of that. For one, the type of magics used to create such an abomination against nature are extremely powerful and very rare. And for another, if you and your friends ever ran into someone that was powerful enough to do that, I doubt there's anything that any of you could do to stop it from happening.
Me and my hammer may have a different of opinion on that one, but fine.
Then I hope, Master Dwarf, that your hammer is indeed as formidable as it looks. And then he looks around at you all and he says, I see that you have found more silvered weapons. Curious, I didn't think there were many places you could buy those here.
We have a person that's handy with his hands.
He's handy with his hands.
My hands don't have hands. What are you talking about? I'm just good with them.
And Rictavio says,
I'll walk over to Crinraid real quick and pat him on the back and just shake my head. Yes, buddy.
Well, at least he doesn't get handsy with the help, though,
And Rictavio says, well, it is good to have someone with the skills of a smith around. Well done, Master Dwarf.
It's not really well done. It's just what comes natural, You put a little bit of metal in a pot, you dip some stuff in it, and then ta-da, you've got stuff.
I believe, he says, that the kitchens are this way, and he points over towards here. He says, I could use with some tea, and perhaps we can sit and discuss what your plans are. And the Abbot said There was somebody here that I would know. I'm curious what he means by that.
Well, he said something about a hunter's apprentice.
And when you say that, he turns to you and he says, "Surely not her." And then you guys can go on in. Move on in over here towards the kitchen if you want to. Stupid thing. This one takes so long to load.
We feel your pain, Gala. We've all experienced it, I think.
Yeah.
It's fast. It's amazingly fast for us tonight.
Ironically, yes.
Yeah, ironically, which is the crazy thing. That most of the time I don't have any issues at all. And somebody else usually gets the so then we're gonna have Rictavio come in here, and we'll have the commoner come in here. There we go. All right, so now everybody can see where that is. And as you get in here, you see that there are two women in this area. And there is a woman who wears a tattered red gown, and she is a she looks very familiar to you all. In fact, she looks almost like Irina, except that the hair is lighter and the skin is much more pale. And she is sitting in one of the chairs at the table, and she looks at you and she just gives you a slight smile as you come in. The other person that you see is also a woman, and this woman is a Vistana. You can tell by her skin coloration and her hair color. She is a Vistana, and she carries a rapier at one hip and a hand axe at the other hip. And she also has on the same hip as the hand axe, she has a short sword sheathed. And she's wearing muted colors for a Vistana. She doesn't have the bright colors of the Vistani that you saw at the camp. But probably the most curious thing about her is that her right leg from the middle of the thigh down is a prosthetic. And she it seems very well it seems very well balanced. When she walks, she doesn't have any kind of limp, but she is sort of standing there looking at the woman in the red dress very appraisingly. And then as you all walk in, she looks up, and then when Rictavio walks in, she does a double take. And Rictavio looks at her and says, "Esmeralda, it is you." And the woman with the artificial leg nods and says, "Yes, the mists have called me back. I am not sure what for, but I'm unsurprised to see you here. How are you, vampire hunter?" And Rictavio kind of gives a grimace when she calls him that. And he says, "I am not as well as I would like. I feel old age creeping up on me, and I was expecting to meet the wizard here. But he is not here." And he looks at Des pointedly, and he says, "But perhaps he has been here." And Esmeralda gives him a tight smile, and says, "Yes, that one is mad for sure. I believe he got the dates wrong." And Rictavio just puts his hand over his eyes and sort of shakes his head sadly. Well, I was counting on his aid, but perhaps if you still hold the values that I taught you, and if these folk are willing, perhaps we have a chance." And Esmeralda looks, and she sees Irina, and she raises one eyebrow when she sees Irina. And then she turns and she looks at the woman in the red dress. And she says, "Well, vampire hunter, I think you arrived at just the right time to disrupt one of the Abbot's latest schemes." And she looks pointedly at the woman in the red dress. And Rictavio walks around the table and goes over and stands next to the woman and says, "Can you stand up, my dear?" And the woman looks up at him silently. And then he reaches out a hand, and she puts her hand out, and he gently lifts her up, and then she stands as she realizes he wants her to stand. And then he looks at her, and he studies her face carefully. And then he touches her chin, and he turns her head one way, and then he turns her head the other way. And then he touches her neck, and he kind of gives a little shudder when he does. And there's sort of a look of distaste runs across his face. He says, "Exquisite work, to be sure, but How could he ever think that he would fall for this? And Esmeralda looks at Rictavio, and she smiles and she says, "You'd be surprised what men fall for." And Rictavio looks past the woman in red at Esmeralda, and there's a very kind of dark look in his eyes, but he doesn't say anything. And then he says to the woman in red, he says, "What is your name, my dear?" And she doesn't say anything. And he says, "It's all right. We are friends here. What is your name?" And she doesn't say anything. And then he kind of looks at you all and he quirks an eyebrow. And then he gently reaches up to grab her lower jaw, and he gently pulls her lower jaw down, and he looks into her mouth. And then he kind of recoils a little bit and lets her jaw go. And he says, "She has no tongue." And Esmeralda says, "Perhaps he's not done with her yet."
You're saying the Abbot did this?
And Esmeralda looks at you and nods. She says, he has had the Mongrelfolk travel to every village in Markovia by night and go to the graveyards and bring him as many corpses of young women as he can. He thinks that he can build a golem of a sort and put enough magics on it that he can fool Strahd into thinking it is a bride for him.
So, go on.
And Esmeralda looks at Krenraid, and she gives a little smile, and she says, "That was exactly my reaction when he told me."
I'm sorry, I just couldn't help it.
I just came back to that. Irina in the back kind of coughs on her own spit and tries and remains her posture in the nicest way she can, but she can't believe that. Feeling more uneasy about this place more than she's ever been before.
And Rictavio looks at Esmeralda and says, "Well, he is aware that she walks again." And Esmeralda looks at Irina and says, "Well, that would explain why the mist called me back. I must have known you would be here. I suppose you think this time you can end him?" And Rictavio says, "That would be my hope. But I'm not sure if these group of adventurers and myself and you would quite be up to the task." We might have to go visit the temple. And Esmeralda looks at you and says, Rictavio, no. No. No, you cannot be serious. No. No, tell me you do not mean to go to the Amber Temple.
And about this time, you see you see the dog just like freeze up.
And Rictavio says, I'm not sure what choice we have. If the wizard is not here, we may need to seek some of the blessings from the temple.
And the dog gives a deep-throated growl. Hackles standing up on the back.
And Rictavio looks and says, Furbolg, you have seen all of the Mongrelfolk here. There's no reason for you to fear that anyone would look twice at your appearance. Besides, these are your friends, are they not? And Esmeralda looks at the dog and says, a druid. And Rictavio says, unless I miss my guess, yes.
About this time, he changes into his tall, lanky furbolg person and goes, yeah.
Ah! Oh, sorry, I forgot.
You get this look like, yeah, right. And he's just got this completely relaxed posture, just laid back, extremely, almost like he's half asleep. And he's like, the Ember Temple is not something to be messed with.
And Rictavio says, oh, believe me, I've done my research. I know that one should not trifle with that place. But the entities entombed there are able to grant boons to those who are willing to pay the price.
What kind of price?
And Rictavio looks at Mulek and says, when I was a younger man, I had a wife and a son. My boy was kidnapped by Vistani and was brought into the mists. I found a way into the mists to follow him. But by the time I reached him, the vampire had already turned him into a vampire spawn. I took a hammer and a wooden stake, and I drove it through my own son's heart to spare him the curse of vampirism. When at last I found some Vistani leaving the mists and hid on their wagon to escape, I went back to tell my wife the fate that had befallen our son. But before I reached her, some of Strahd's thugs got there first. And I found her bloody corpse in our home. You see, I have lost everything already. If there is something in the Amber Temple that would give me the power to end Strahd, I wouldn't care what the price was.
The Furbolg kind of stands up a little straighter and goes, "When was the last time you were there?"
I have never been inside.
Then let me tell you that it is the nesting place of a rock. I have been there. It is pouring of malevolent evil. You can sense it. Even those that can barely sense such things within half a mile, you begin to feel uneasy. And then the closer you get, the stronger that feeling becomes. It is an ancient evil. And the malevolent power makes people feel as if it is watching you. We heard an unearthly scream and saw this massive bird of prey. And it attacked our group going for our horses. And we tried to scare it away, but it only seemed to make it angry. And it chased us from the Amber Temple back down the road and across the ancient bridge. We lost 2 of our companions at the bridge as they slipped and fell in the ice and went over. It is treacherous. It is evil. So if we go that direction, you must be sure that you are prepared to meet and possibly destroy the evil there.
And Rictavio gives Dez a tight-lipped smile and says, "Well, then it seems that I know something of the lore of that place that you do not. For it was the Amber Temple where Strahd himself went to consult with the dark powers. They made it possible for the murder of his brother to turn him into the monster that he is. If they can make him, they can unmake him. I intend to be the instrument of that unmaking."
Well, that's going to cost a lot.
But I see this may be the only way for us to return to where we came from.
Yes, it could be. But I am simply giving the warning to be prepared. Do not go into this blindly like we did. We lost several very good companions that day. And just even speaking of it now, I do not usually have issues with feeling the presence of malevolence like that, or letting it get to me. But I will tell you that place still instills a sense of fear.
Ruled by a dark god, your friends died there. It's where this Strahd guy got his magical powers and killed his brother. Yeah, this is a bad place we don't really want to be, but I see
Having
that
at least
we
been
kind of
there
have
on
no
the
choice.
precipice, I can give
Can you
us.
get in?
Unfortunately, once the Rook came after us, no, we were blocked from going any farther, and that was when we started our trek back down the hill.
What about your pet? Did you have your pet at that time?
Oh.
Out of character, Mr. GM, would I?
No. You
Okay.
would have met Sangzor later.
Okay.
And Rictavio looks, and one eyebrow raises, and he says, "Several times now you have said we. Who is we? Who were you with?"
I came to this world. I was brought here by a wizard of some renown named Eudovius the Magnificent, and he kind of gives this roll of the eyes.
And
He's should have been called Eudovius the Mad.
And Esmeralda smiles triumphantly, says, "You see, Vampire Hunter, I was right. He did get the date wrong. Tell me, Furbolg, how long have you been trapped here?"
Well, 14 full moons worth.
14 full moons. And Rictavio says, well, Eudovius, you mad devil. You could be anywhere by now.
Yes, unfortunately, Eudovius, hang on here. Sorry, I've got to review something here.
Okay.
After our flight from the Amber Temple, he blamed the loss of our 2 companions on Strahd himself and resolved that he was not going to wait for Rudolph van Richten to do something about it. So he made a fatal mistake. And he started on a foolhardy quest for revenge. Well, let's just say we were parted, unfortunately, and he we were parted since I saw him thrown 1,000 feet to his death by Strahd himself. I climbed down into the river to search for his body, but there was nothing. The river had carried him away.
Or this very big rock, right? Must have been a very big rock.
No, unfortunately, it was Strahd himself that saw to his end. And though I have never found his body, I do hope that he still lives. However, I have been wandering long enough to begin to lose hope that I will ever see him again.
And Rictavio says, "Yes, Eudovius is the name he said he would use. But that one is hard to kill. I wonder, he might still yet live. And as he stands there pondering in thought, Mulek, you get a sense of alarm from Casper. And we will find out what that alarm is all about after our break.
Uh-oh.
All right, so I have 42 after the hour. We are going to go ahead and take a little break, and I'm going to put the music on, put the timer on for about 10 minutes, and then we will be back. Chat, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. And if you have any questions for us, go ahead and put them in the chat, and we will answer them when we get started with the second half of the session. All right.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay. I went into my room, so I went outside of my headset radius, so it shut itself off. So I wanted to make sure it was working. Hell yeah.
All good in the hood.
Yes, we can hear you, Ivy.
Yeah.
Once again. Okay, now, I need to, before we get started again, I need to figure out what this fight should be, because I had originally tuned it for having 6 players, and now I have
I'm excited to see what happens next.
First time melee, let's go.
Okay.
It's just a giant stone. How bad can it be?
So actually just a giant stone?
And not really, but that's what Crenred thinks.
Is it Strahd himself, or is he going to be a giant wussy up in his tower?
Don't say that out loud. I hope so.
I have more things to try and make the people dwell onto Irina's side, but no.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of things for you to slice and dice and get their blood, infuse it in your blade, or do some other weird shit.
I hope so. Also, I have to swoon them over with this fight, which means I need to get the good rolls. You hear that, Galabon? You give me all the nat 20s, okay? You break the system, and you give me all the nat 20s, so they need to have Irina. You see? This is how it works.
Okay.
That'll cost
All
you
right.
1 cat.
No. I can't give up Gypsy. She talks to me. She's concerned about me. So remember?
We're concerned about you too, but for very different reasons.
Yeah.
What's that supposed to mean?
Ow, that was a serious burn.
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
It wasn't that bad. I was like, you lay that out in the open. You can't not have someone take it, even if he has no idea what it means.
I'm gonna just go be sad now.
Oh, don't do that. That would be a waste of your precious time.
What precious time?
Oh my goodness.
Just gonna double check if I've got any javelins in my bag right quick.
Come on.
Not
Come
enough.
on.
One thing I do have to say that I'm mad about with Gypsy is that she jumped on one of the pieces of my desk, and it was up on another piece of my desk that was finished. And she jumped on it, it lost its balance, and she broke and snapped half of it in half.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So,
time for some wood glue.
yeah.
Right?
So I grabbed some nails, I grabbed some glue, I nailed it all back together, and I kind of not plastered it, but I took some glue and rubbed it over the cut, so like the wood looks like it goes together.
Well done. That's way more effort than I would have put in. I would have just put
See,
some
now
glue,
you
could have
need to
jammed it
take
together, and that'd been
And
it.
make a little railing all the way around, and then decorate the top of your desk, and then pour in epoxy.
Oh, very
resin.
fancy.
You know, that would be really nice, but I don't know how to do it, and yeah.
It's actually, I mean, I've been watching.
That's what YouTube is for. Yeah.
Yes.
You can learn how to do anything on YouTube.
Exactly.
Watching.
I also know that
Watching a
most
video.
of the videos have this one ingredient that you really need, but they never show you that one ingredient's name. So you can never fucking finish it. Almost like slime. You can't make your own slime at home because it won't turn out the way that you want it because it won't tell you the right one ingredient that you need or
That's
the
why you
last
find
ingredient.
recipes.
Yeah. It's stupid.
Well, I mean, if you go and you find a video from somebody that's trying to sell something, then you're exactly right. If you go and you find videos by makers, people who just like create stuff. Heather, you know Chinbeard, right? Builderan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got a YouTube channel that he's got a company called Punished Props, and they make props for TV and movies and theatrical productions and all that kind of stuff. And he has a YouTube channel that's all about making these props and making his cosplay costumes and things like that, because he's one of these guys that goes to a lot of these sci-fi conventions, and he and his wife always have costumes, and they're always very elaborate and very cool. And so he talks about all the ways that you make it, and he's doing it as a maker. He's not doing it trying to sell stuff. So he would, somebody like him would tell you all the stuff that they use.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they may not tell you where they get it, but tell you what it
nobody
is.
can hear me.
No, yeah.
When you said Greenbeard, you're talking about Punished Props. Is that Adam Green?
No, Chinbeard. It's
Chinbeard.
Bill.
Oh, Chinbeard. Sorry.
Bill
I know another
Duran.
guy that does the same thing. He's out of Atlanta. So, yeah.
Yeah, this guy is out of Seattle, I think. Bill Duran is in Seattle.
The guy painted a very different picture to me when you said it out loud. I was like,
The guy I know, the Arby's, all the Arby's commercials where they build the stuff out of the boxes and wrappers and stuff.
Yeah.
He did the full on mech armor, whatever it was. He did the one that's got the, I can't remember what video game it's from, but he's the one that built the full scale out of Arby's boxes, built that mech, whatever it was for them for a commercial.
Oh, wow.
Boxes.
Yeah, have you not seen like the cool nerdy shit that Arby's did for a while with like they used the sauce and would draw stuff with the sauce, or they take the boxes or wrappers and make like cool nerdy shit. It was really on their Instagram and stuff like that, but they did have a few videos where they made like cool. It's really cool. Let's look it up. Like Arby's Crafts. It's insane.
Okay.
I think I've actually seen that. It's with the little cutouts, isn't it? The little small models that the guy makes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Part of it.
You're really quiet all of a sudden.
Probably because
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank you guys for indulging the little bit of delay. Mulek,
Yes.
we were getting to you. You saw, or you had a sense of warning from Casper.
Yes. What kind of message did Casper give me?
And he will tell you not dead things coming from the north.
Great.
If I look out the window here, can I see anything?
If you look out the window, okay, yes, you're looking out the window. In fact, let me do this. In fact, you can see you can see 5 figures. One looks almost completely human. The others look like they have crawled out of the ground, and they seem a bit more bestial.
Looks like we've
And
got some undead-looking creatures coming towards us.
they
Yeah.
are
Oh.
walking. They are walking down towards the door. Now, what I need to do is I need to go
excuse me.
grab the commoner, and I need to put the commoner outside so that everybody can see.
Are these
I'm going to turn
windows?
to Mulek and asks, do they look like they have weapons? Do they look hostile?
Well, some look like they just crawled out of the ground. Are these glass windows, or are these open to the elements?
There's shutters on those windows.
Like, so I mean, I would have pushed. So like, I pushed it open, and I'm looking like straight out into the area, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then let's see. Let me see if I can. Nope, I cannot do that. So I have to move the thing. There we go. All right. So, what you can see, you guys will have to scroll north because it's not letting me ping and reorient the map. And I think I finally figured out why it is. Because for whatever reason, they just put a bloody 100 million creatures on this map, and I don't know why. They should have just put them. They should have just put a couple of representative ones.
When I look out here where my arrow is, it's all black.
Yeah. Yeah. You. Okay. So I moved the Barovian commoner outside so chat could see, but you guys may have to actually go outside.
I can see him from my window that I'm in front of.
I can see something sitting right here, but I'm just wondering why. Like, I can see everything up to where my arrow is going.
Well, that's because there's a wall there.
Okay,
it's
so
blocking
it's a
line
wall.
of.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what I was
the outer wall of the Abbey.
Okay.
And so you guys can't see beyond that because the wall blocks line of sight.
And we're still on the first floor.
Yeah, you guys are still on the first floor. So this is outside, and Thaldor, from what you've heard and what you've read, 4 of these creatures, they look like wights. And then the thing in front of them, you're not quite sure what that is, but if it's casually walking along with wights, it can't be good.
I look over to Mulek. We've got trouble, but you already know that. But I think the thing's following behind. I don't know who that thing is, but from what I can tell, they're whites.
Do I know what a white is?
Yeah.
You can make. You guys can make a history check to see if you know what that is.
Anyone or just him?
Anyone.
I've fought him before.
Yep.
Gallimore, I said nat 20s, not nat 1s.
For me, right? That's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Krenraid. Yes, you know that a white is a type of undead. Oh, come on. A white is a type of undead. It does carry weapons. And as you guys are able to see it, it looks like these guys have long swords and bows slung over their backs. The worst thing, Krenraid, about a white is that when it strikes you, not only will it deal damage, but it will actually sap some of your life force. Mechanical translation is it will reduce your maximum hit points by the amount of damage it does to you.
Made me feel
So
really sad
necrotic.
before I knocked it into the ground and finally was able to deal with it. I remember that. Do I remember how fast they were?
They're about as fast as a human.
Cool.
How do we fight these things?
Well, that's a good thing.
From a distance.
That's what Mulek is asking. How do we fight these things?
Okay.
From a distance. That's Thalor telling Mulek. From a distance, preferably.
When I last fought them, I just beat it into the ground until it stopped moving.
We're not all as strong as you are, buddy.
That's true. It takes a lot to get to the strength.
I might be. 17's pretty hardy. I might be pretty strong.
You are strong. 17 is pretty buff in D&D terms.
And how many did Casper communicate to me were coming?
5 creatures in total.
All right, 5 teachers. Okay. All right. What do you guys want to do?
I want to
till
go
they
out there and hit them.
Just meet them at the front door.
All right. Let's go. I
Okay.
guess we want to take care of these guys from a distance. All right. Got it.
The lady, well, my friends here, what are you going to do? Looking at Rictavio and Esmeralda.
Esmeralda looks at Irina and says, Irina, I would advise that you stay inside. These are likely scouts. Even if they are defeated, they may be able to tell their lord and master that you are indeed here. I presume he is merely hunting because he has discovered you are not where he expects you to be.
Indeed, he does not know where I am, but creepy.
Well, let's
Makes
keep
me
it
just
that
want
way
to
until-
punch something, just grab my sword, I want to help.
I
She
mean,
kind
we
of
can
feels
keep it that way
powerless.
until you have his neck underneath your sword.
Okay. Yeah, now I've got to go. Okay, so I'm going to.
Karina did have her long sword in her hands waiting by the door, but after they've told her not to, she kind of sheaves it back in, annoyed with the
Oh no,
fr-
it's not
frown between her
Nazi.
eyebrows.
Just wait for the opportune moment, you know. That was
Okay,
Conrad's intention,
all right.
anyway.
I am going to do something rather rash here.
Sorry, did you want initiative?
Because-
Didn't hear that.
Yeah, you guys can go ahead and roll initiative. And I think before I can roll initiative, I've got to get rid of all of these. I've got to get rid of all of these
Damn, Mulek.
tokens.
How'd you beat me?
It's my what's it called? It's my temporal awareness.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because I have a +5 to initiative. What is yours?
I have a +8.
Jesus. That makes sense now.
I can't roll lower than a 9.
That's amazing.
And if I cast Gift of Alacrity on me, it could be even better.
That's okay. I'm glad to be at the top of the initiative order with you, sir.
Okay, then I'm going to do this.
Ignore my placement real quick. I just wanted to take measurements.
Sure.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah, what I think I figured out why my DM computer is going so slowly, and that is because on this map they literally put they put tokens for every single creature that is residing at the Abbey. So there's like 100 tokens on this stupid map,
Oh my goodness.
and I think all of them have the light setting set on them. So every time you move something, it has to re-render all of those tokens. I think that's why it was being so damn slow. So I just
Even on the GM layer.
well, they were behind walls you couldn't see, but they're actually on the token layer.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
I went ahead and I got rid of most of them, like 90% of them, because I'm just tired of that being so slow. All right.
Irina will walk closer to Emeralda and say, "Is there any way I could help? Like anything?"
And she says, "If they get inside, they're all yours. We'll help you, of course."
Hearing that help gives Irina a little bit of hope and smile as she goes out to the door to meet everyone else, but
Okay.
staying close.
Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so Avian is 11.16, and these guys are 11.14. Or 10.14, I should say. Come on. Okay, and then we'll do this. Do we have everybody on the board? It looks like I have Mulek, Thaldur, Dez, Tavian, the Whites, Krenraid, and Irina. I think we have everybody. Okay. All right. So Mulek, you see a group of 5 people out here.
Okay.
Yes.
Before running over, I threw my last bag of tricks ball out the window, and Chunk, the black bear, appeared and
Love it.
met me at the door.
Okay.
So I am gonna command Chunk to attack these creatures.
Okay.
And let's see, I think that's my bonus action. And then so for my action, all right, for my action, I'm going to cast Hypnotic Pattern.
Okay.
20 feet. So, yep. So just right over this center one right here.
Okay. So charm. Okay. Oh, interesting. All right. And then this. All right. Okie dokie. They are undead, but they are not immune to charm. So wisdom save 16 for all of these guys. It's large enough to affect all of them.
30-foot cube. So 5, 10. Yeah, it should be. These are
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, they're
these are 10-foot
10-foot
right?
squares. Yeah. So yeah, they should be. All right. Wisdom. So there's 4 needed. 2, 3, 4. 1 saved from the whites, and this guy. Come on. Character sheet open up, dummy. Failed. All right.
Damn.
So, we have 1 loopy doopy. We have 2 loopy doopy. We have
Mulek saves the day again. This is like what, the 4th time you've done that, Mulek?
3 loopy doopy.
Just go to move.
And we
works.
have 4 loopy doopy.
Well, I was going to say, that's the same spell he used when we saved you, Crinrad.
Yep, and the same spell that was used inside of the bar, and the same spell
Tavern,
that was inside the cave.
Yeah.
I mean, the black bear. Attack the ones that aren't charmed.
It works. You can't argue with results.
No, you can't.
And so 4 of them just sort of stop in their tracks and like look, and they get that sort of glazed expression, like they've inhaled too much at a Grateful Dead concert or something.
Concentrate your fire on the one that's not charmed.
Okay. I've seen this before.
All right.
I got you.
So now the black bear acts at the end of your turn. Is that right? Or did you?
I think, I already moved him 40 feet.
Okay.
He's just going to wait there, and if something comes up, he's just going to hold. I guess just hold his action in case something comes up.
Okay. All right. So then, Faldor.
Yes.
You are up.
I don't think nobody's in melee. I don't know if they can see me.
Yeah, they
can see me.
It's daylight, but it's perpetually overcast, so there's no sunlight out.
Well, I'm within range of the one that's 80 feet away, the one that's not charmed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to hit it with my crossbow, but with a silver-tipped crossbow bolt. I don't know if that have any effect. I'm testing the waters. Like, this is Thaldor, like, testing, will this work?
Okay. That's fine.
Not with that roll, it won't.
A 10. Okay. A 10 will miss.
Snap.
And the crossbow bolt goes skidding in the dirt beyond the creature.
Well, maybe I can get that later. I'm going to try to hide. I don't know if they could, if I go here, hold on. As a bonus action, if I can get like here in this corner next
here
to the
in that
door.
little nook and hide.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll let you try it.
Let's see what my stealth roll.
Make a stealth check.
Ooh, God, I'm
15.
rolling horrible.
Okay, so let's see. Okay. Yeah, you're not sure whether that's good enough or not. All right, Des.
Yes.
You are up.
All right. So did everybody else, they just kind of jumped out the window?
No, they ran around to the door and went out the door.
Where's the door?
Sorry. Can somebody ping the
You
door
gotta-
because I'm not
yeah,
sure if
you-
my pinging is.
It's right here.
Oh.
You got to go out the kitchen door.
Oh yeah, you have to go. You have to go out the kitchen door and then go. Yeah.
Okay.
And
There you go.
So,
and then yeah, there you go.
so the black bear is our.
Your ally
Yeah,
and your
Our ally.
enemies.
that's Chunk.
Okay. So
Your enemies are up here, and the only one that isn't affected by the spell is the one that doesn't have an icon on it.
Gotcha. Okay. So actually what I want to do is sorry. I'm going to basically come out, take a quick assessment, and then apologize. I want to make sure I'm not damaging my friends. Unfortunately, that's a cube. Crap. I don't want it to be a cube. Da-da-da-da. I apologize. Thought I knew what I wanted to do, but that's not going to work. Okay. So I'm going to come in and cast Wall of Fire like here. Or wait, I can cast it there. How far is that? Mm-hmm. Okay. So basically this here, it's a concentration spell.
Okay, Wall of Fire. It's 120 feet. Make the wall up to 60 feet long, 20 feet high, and 1 foot thick, or a ringed wall 20 feet in diameter, 20 feet high, and 1 foot thick. So, if it's a 60-foot long wall,
Actually, I didn't see that I could do a circle, so I want to try and get each one of these squares is 5 foot still, right?
Nope,
No?
10 feet.
Oh crap! All right.
Now, if you have a 20-foot diameter circle,
And that wall's 20 feet high, so we will not be able to do anything.
Well, but if I can encircle them for the moment, they all have to take.
Yeah, so Mulek,
Oh,
if she could put a, let me go ahead and just for argument's sake, I'm going to try to draw a 20-foot circle. And then I'll have to zoom in so I can move it around. And let's see. So if we took this 20-foot circle and you put it up here, she could surround these 4, and with some fine adjustment, I can get it so where it's actually not touching any of them. And basically, she can trap those 4 inside that circle.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do.
And only one of them is unaffected by the hypnotic pattern. So theoretically, perhaps, Mulek, that would leave you 1 that you could deal with. And then if any of them try to get through that wall of fire, they're going to take damage by trying to get through it.
I need to see. They all will need to
So
make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, because it says if they're within the area, right? So that would affect everyone in the circle.
It's in the wall itself. So I don't think it's a circular-like explosion. It's just a wall of fire. If they step into it, they take damage. At least that's how it's played.
Yes.
In the games.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
When the wall
Yeah.
appears, each creature within its area must make a
10 feet.
dexterity saving throw.
Oh, within. Okay, so then that's
If you do a circle, it says here
you
on one
can
side
yes
of the wall
one
you selected. Yeah.
yeah. Deals 5d8 damage to each creature that ends its turn within 10 feet of that side of the wall.
Or
So,
inside of the wall.
So, or which means like directly if you run the wall through a creature square. So the question is, Des, if you put the hot side of the wall out, it won't deal any damage to the 4 creatures inside, but it will deal damage to the creature outside, or which means that it would break the charm on the one outside, but it would not break the charm on the ones inside. If you put the heat facing in, then it would not break the charm on the one on the outside, but it would break the charm on the 3 inside.
The 4 inside.
Well, the one of them inside isn't charmed, so the one of them made it save.
Okay. Well, I want to hit the 4 in the inside, do the most damage.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So do that, and they need to make a dex save of 16.
And how does that work if they're charmed? Is that an automatic failure or no?
No. If it deals damage, it just breaks the charm on your particular spell. But you're dealing damage to 4 of them, so it's yeah. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. One made a save, and guess what? It's the same one that saved against the other spell.
Isn't it supposed to be is it 16 and above? If it matches and above, they pass, or is it if they land on 16, they still take damage?
No, 16 and above.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll 5d8. Unless did it already? No, it didn't. It didn't roll damage. So go ahead and roll 5d8. 27 points of damage. Okay, and then the guy that saved takes half. So, we are going to pay this guy. Whoops, I'm sorry. This guy is and then this guy is. It's a shame you guys can't see this because 3 of them are now bloodied.
Wait, who are you saying?
Yay, druids!
Oh, we can't see them because of the flames. Yes, that's right.
Right. The wall of flame is opaque. Half of 27 in D&D terms is 13. Because you always round down. So this guy takes 13, which means he is not yet bloodied.
Unless it specifically says round up. Well, there are a few, but only a few.
Yeah. Well, back in older editions, it always followed like math rules where
it made sense.
where if it was 0.4 or lower, you rounded down, and 0.5 or above, you rounded up. But they discovered that people had too difficult a time trying to figure out whether they should round up or round down. So in 5th edition, they just said always round down. Like you say, unless there's a feature that specifically says otherwise. Which
I miss FACO.
Yeah. All right. So, Des, anything else that you're going to do? Okay. So, next up is Tavian. And Tavian, well, he just sort of stands there. And he thinks about the pretty colors. And then we have the creatures that are inside the inside this. And they all realize that if they stay there, they are going to die. So they all try to get out, which means they are going to need to make saving throws. So let me move them out and make saving throws for them. And
well, if they're going in it, I don't. Does
They
it?
don't
do
get a
they-
save.
I think it's automatic.
It's only a save for the first time the wall appears. After that, it's just taking the damage and passing through.
It says a creature takes the damage when it enters the wall for the first time on a turn. So because there's no way they can avoid it, they have to go.
There's no way they can avoid it.
Yeah,
So
they're going through it.
they're trying to go through it because they don't want to get totally crispified.
Yeah,
So
they say
go
they
ahead.
die the same thing.
Yeah. So go ahead, Des, and roll another 5d8.
For each one.
Just
No,
normally
just
just
roll
one.
5d8 and I'll apply it across the board to all of them. 16. Okay, so 16. All right, so let's take a look here.
No, I'm still since I'm still concentrating, I can move it, can I?
Wallify
No,
doesn't say you can move it. I don't
You
think
can't
you can.
move
I think
Wallifier.
Wallifier is just there. Okay, so it takes damage and it's barely clinging to life. And this one, come on, this one takes some damage and it is barely clinging to life. Okay, and then this other one up here takes damage and it's barely clinging to life.
Yes. Boom, boom. Waha!
Yeah. And then the fourth one, I think, fourth one might in fact be bloodied. Yes, the fourth one will be bloodied.
The one that wasn't bloody before.
The one that wasn't bloodied before.
Okay.
Okay, so come on.
Well, if you guys manage to knock them back inside of it, well, I still have it up.
Crenraid's aware,
Probably
don't
end
worry.
Huh?
Crenraid's aware of this. Grappling rules. What fun.
Okay, so come on here, you stupid slow thing. God,
Pick
are
them
there
up
that
and throw
many
them
other...
back inside.
I thought I got rid of a lot of the tokens, but it's still being slow, so maybe that wasn't the problem.
My stuff has been slow tonight too, so just trying to load up a character sheet was ungodly.
Yeah. Yeah, normally I have a pretty quick and easy connection here. So all right. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to change the thing on that. So Crenraid. Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. Not yet, because they still have to. They moved. They still have to attack. So don't go just yet.
All good.
The problem is this thing is being so slow that it's throwing me off.
So they're not charmed anymore, though.
Nope, that's why the charm symbol went away. Except for the
You're
guy
doing
in front
great,
who
Gabby. We
wasn't
believe in
affected.
you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Now, well, they definitely have range, and they've got 1, 2, 3. They've got 3 obvious targets that they can see. No, 4 obvious targets. 1 being a bear. And so they are going to shoot. And let me roll a d4 to see who they will shoot. So that's 4, 1, 3, and 3. So, 1, 2, 3. 1 will attack, 1 will shoot at the bear, 1 will shoot at Krenraid, and 2 will shoot at Mulek. So, here is the attack on the bear. It pulls out a longbow, and it makes 2 longbow attacks at the bear. So AC 9 and AC 12.
Second
Do
one
either of
hit.
those? Okay, so deals 3 piercing damage.
Okay.
Krenraid, you have 2 arrows coming at you. AC 5. And okay, come on. An AC 8. So those both miss, I'm sure. And then Mulek, you have 4 arrows coming at you because each
Holy
of these
crap.
guys shoots twice. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4. So
Ooh.
5, 9, 22, and 16. 5 and 9, I'm sure miss. The 16, does that hit?
The 16 misses.
Okay, so then the only one that probably hits is the 22.
Yeah,
Unless you have an ungodly.
Yeah, and I'll throw up shield.
Oh, so does
So
that...
it goes to 25.
Okay, great.
Sweet.
He's an artificial wizard of heavy armor.
Yeah.
It's all that finger waggling.
Shields!
Yeah, it's my shield. It's my real shield and my magic shield.
Krenraid, you could swear that this finger waggler is going to take an arrow right through the throat when suddenly this little something shimmers in the air in front of him, and the arrow just snaps into it and bounces off. And Mulek just looks over at you, Krenraid, and grins.
Yeah, I'm no longer surprised by the stuff Mulek does.
Okay, now
It's quite
Krenraid,
awesome.
you can go.
I'm going. That's what I'm doing. Use my action to dash, brandishing my maul, going over here. I've been sitting and bored in that little room, and now it's finally time to play. I'll burst into a rage, and that's it.
Okay, Irina, your friends seem to have this more or less under control. But is there anything that you would like to do?
Irina would be pacing inside the walls back and forth. She hears commotion stuff outside. She wants so badly to stick her head out the window and shoot her longbow, but she'll hold her sword and hold an action to attack if anything comes near the door.
Okay. Esmeralda and Rictavio will move out into this area where Irina is, into the same room, and they're listening to the sounds of battle, and it says, "Oh, it sounds like they have things under control." And then all of a sudden, Irina, you hear a loud clatter and thud up above.
Spaghetti-o.
And Rictavio and Esmeralda say, "Stay here, Irina. Stay close to your friends. We'll go investigate." And so they go running off, and they head upstairs toward the second level. And so then, Mulek, we are back to you.
Okay. Scout's gonna kind of was a little slow on the uptake on the first one, but he's gonna fly over here and harass this guy, because Mulek will say, "Gasper, come on, get in the fight, help us out." So he's gonna come and distract this one, and then fly back, and then Mulek's gonna pull out a shard of ice as he runs 5, 10, 15, 20, gets it within range, and he's going to cast Ice Knife at first level at this guy. So it's a ranged spell attack.
Yep.
So do I get advantage on that, right?
Get advantage. Yes, because of the.
Okay. 26. Oh goodness. Okay, so this guy, if 26 hits, this guy takes 6 piercing, and then
26.
Yeah,
26.
I rolled an 18.
26. You're asking if a 26 hits?
Well, I don't want to presume.
I
If
have
a white
a
has
question.
26 armor class, I quit.
Yeah. Mulek, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How would you like to kill this weight?
Oh, well, the ice shard just goes right into it and explodes. So it just whatever, it just makes it.
Well, it should explode, period, because you know it's like superheated right now. So.
Okay. Is now the ice shard?
So it explodes.
The target, each creature within 5 feet of it must succeed on a dex save or take an additional 2 cold damage.
Which is only this one right here.
Right. Okay. So this guy.
Because I rolled.
Whoops. I'm sorry. This guy is. This guy is. Fiddle faddle. He's gonna take. Actually, you're. You guys, you're just gonna have to. You're gonna have to do something about your wizard. He's just too powerful.
Well,
because
this was supposed to be 2d6, and I rolled 2 nat 1s, so that was.
Yeah, but after all the fire damage, these guys were down to 2 hit points each.
Oh,
so you wound up taking out 2 of them.
Sweet.
You wound up taking out 2 of them.
Daldor looks over at Mulek and just shakes his head in approval, like, yes.
Unlimited
And-
power in spell slots.
It's like Uncle Abinadon taught you a lot, didn't he, Mulek?
So he got me started, but it's not over yet because now Chunk gets to run. So he goes 5, 10.
Does he draw the
15,
truffle shuffle?
20, 25,
Right.
30. Hey, you got the reference. That's where he's from. And he comes up.
Goonies never say die.
That's right. And he has
Exactly.
a multi attack. So he first will bite at this guy. Oh, for 6.
Let's see. Yeah, a 6 will miss.
Okay. And then he'll attack with his claws. 11.
An 11 will miss.
All right. Chunk didn't do so well. And that is my turn.
Does Chunk count as an ally?
Or
Yeah, he's I think
Yes.
so. He should. Yeah.
And he's in melee
yeah,
combat.
he does.
Yeah, huh?
And he is
Here
in
we go.
melee combat.
Here
Yes.
we go. So I don't have to really step out. I can see past Mulek. I tell Mulek to duck, and I'm going to take another silver tip crossbow and try to hit that white.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there we go. There we go.
27 for 19 points of damage. And because this is a silvered weapon, it takes all of that damage. So, Thaldor, I have a question for you. How would you like to kill this undead creature, or how would you like to destroy this undead creature?
So as I tell Mulek to duck and just aim and pop my shot, I just watch the bolt fly and just hit it right between the eyes and watch it collapse to the ground. I think I got it, Mulek.
Okay.
I think I got it.
Good job.
Bonus action hide.
Where'd you go?
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
As I'm saying,
There we go. 26. There's my stealth.
As Mulek saying,
there you
good
go.
job. Good job. Oh, wait, where'd he go?
Where'd he go?
Where'd it go? Okay.
you go?
Des, you should be up.
Yeah, I am. So we have this guy and this guy.
There are 2 enemies still.
Yep. So I am going to, since the wall of fire can't do anything more, I drop my concentration on that as I do. I hope this works. Hang on. Just want to make sure. On.
Ooh.
And I want to put it
Call
right up.
lightning.
I want to put it about. I want to avoid it so that it doesn't hit the bear, but I want to make sure that it's going to go after this guy. So.
Okay, a storm cloud appears in the shape of a cylinder, is 10 feet tall, with a 60-foot radius, centered on a point you can see 100 feet directly above you. The spell fails if you can't see a point in the air where the storm cloud could appear. When you cast a spell, choose a point you can see within range. A bolt of lightning flashes down from the cloud to that point. Each creature within 5 feet of that point must make a dex saving throw. So you could
So a
put that
60-foot radius. That'd be like way over here, or like
Yeah.
way up in the, or way in the sky.
yeah. But the bolt goes to a point. So if you put that point like right here, then it will get this guy, but it will not get the bear because the bear will be more than 5 feet away from it. And unfortunately, this other guy over here is too far away. So now he is charmed, but he is not stunned, so he can make a saving throw. We'll see if he is able to make a saving throw. DC 16. He is not. So go ahead and roll 3d10. 21 points of
Ooh.
damage. Okay. Well, he is no longer charmed. But he is also down 21 hit points. And he shakes that off, and he looks at Dez, and he snarls. And Krenraid, as he snarls, you can see that he has fangs.
Yeah, I think this guy needs a floss.
Okay, and anything else, Des? You want to move or?
Nope. I'm good.
Okay.
So I'm just,
All right.
it's a concentration spell, so I'm going to keep it up. And if there's anybody still alive by the time it rolls back around to me, I'm going to zap them again.
Okay. Sounds good. And now the guy what just got hit by the lightning, it's his turn. So he has 2 enemies immediately close to him. I think he only gets melee attacks. Yes, he only can do melee attacks. Oh, okay. All right. Actually, something that you notice. Something that you notice, Krenraid. Almost immediately as he takes the lightning damage, some of that damage appears to heal up. And then he moves forward towards Krenraid, and he gets himself there, and there are, so we have 1 and 2. Okay, yeah, those attacks are going at you. He is going to attack Krenraid with 2 attacks. The first attack is a claw attack. And that hits an AC of, AC of 11, so that probably is a miss. And then, oh no, okay, he can't do that because he just claws again. You are not willing and you are not grappled. 23. Okay. Let's see.
Does he want to grapple the raged barbarian with 20 strength and proficiency in athletics? I'm happy for him to try.
You know what? He just got hit for damage. He is hungry for blood. So yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He is going to attempt to
Suck your blood.
grapple. Well, he can't do that yet. He's got to wait till next round. But he is going to grapple you. So on your turn, you can attempt to escape the grapple.
Well, I have to roll an opposing check to contest.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and.
So for me,
see
it's
if you can.
athletics or acrobatics. My athletics is higher, so I get to choose. It's with advantage because I'm raging, and I think that's it. Thank God it was.
Okay, so the 22, you break out of his weak attempt to claw you, or to grapple you.
But I admire his gusto.
And then he snarls. And this white, there's 1 white left. So this white will go 5, 10, 15, go down to about here. And then we'll look, and it seems like it has some sort of consciousness of what is going on. It looks up at the cloud, and then it raises its bow, and it looks at Dez, and it tries to shoot over Mulek's head to hit Dez, which is a nearly 8-foot tall creature. He can do AC 21 and AC 16. Do either of those hit?
Yeah, they both hit. Are you kidding me?
Ooh, so
I don't have armor.
6. So 6 and 7 is a total of 13 points of damage.
Okay.
And that is their turn. And Krenraid.
I think she makes a concentration check. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. All right. DC 10 concentration check, which is a Constitution check. So a DC 10 Constitution check too, because easily. All right.
Easy. Hold on.
The cloud.
I'm
Just a
hurt.
flesh wound.
Kind of like, ow, 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 ow. Somebody
Come
try to
back,
make
I'll
me
nibble
a
your kneecaps off.
pin cushion.
All right. Krenraid, you are up.
Okay. Well, I mean, he tried to grapple me. I think it's only fair that I do the same thing. So, I'm going to drop them all as a free action, crack my knuckles and say, you want to get intimate? Let's get intimate. And I'm going to attempt to grapple him.
It would have been perfect for you to say the line, boy, you sure do got a pretty mouth.
Oh, no. Paddle faster. I hear the banjo.
You did see him smiling his fangs. That'd have been a perfect time for that line.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh.
He doesn't feel that way.
All right. So he will get to oppose with either acrobatics or athletics, right? So
Yeah.
you're gonna you make your. I think it's just an attack roll using your strength, right?
Yep, it's an attack roll using my strength because I dropped my weapon, so I'm not using that to assist in the grapple. And then if the attack hits, I make a strength check, and he has to beat it.
Okay.
So we'll do that. 1d20. I'm going to reckless this, of course, to give myself advantage. And then going for the first attack, because it's part of the attack action, it's part of the multi-attack action. This is the first one. And this is going to be attempt to grapple. This is 1d20 plus 5 plus proficiency plus 3, so 16. Does that hit?
16 does hit.
Okay, so I make a strength check, which is a 1d20 plus 5. Oof.
That's 10. And his acrobatics and his athletics are the same because neither one is trained, and his scores in both.
Wow.
It's not great, but you
The
beat
dice were with me this time, just barely.
Yeah. All right, so you have him grappled.
Part of the second attack, I'm going to try to knock him prone. So this is the same thing again.
Okay. 16, that's exactly what you need to hit him.
Oh, it's not an attack, it's just a check this one. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So oppose the same way?
Yep, it's athletics or acrobatics, whichever's highest you get to choose.
Okay, well, we'll say the first one was athletics, but now that he realizes you're trying to throw him to the ground, he's going to try to acrobatics his way out of it. And he fails.
Wow.
And so he is now prone. And are you maintaining the grapple?
Yep, so he's still grappled and he's now prone, and I'm going to use this chance to drag him, because this is something I can do. the 15 feet to put him and force him next to this guy, barging my way through, essentially. Because I noticed that lightning bolt had a bit of an AoE to it.
Okay.
So I feel like maybe right here, next to this right, which is within 5 square feet of myself, so it's not on my thing right here, would be great.
Okay, so I need to get the fudge. Did it
sorry,
again.
moving him. I apologize.
No, it's not you. It's the stupid thing is being so slow. So we're going to say that he is grappled.
Is that a Pathfinder rule or a 5e rule where it's auto crit on prone?
It's 5e as well, but it's advantage if you're in melee combat, disadvantage if you're in range combat.
Got you.
Yeah, so I think what you're thinking of must be a Pathfinder. So we're putting him. Yeah, we're putting him right here next to this guy, like so.
Perfect, thank you.
All right. Okay.
I want you to see your friend.
Yeah. Now, Des, you notice? Oh, those two are right next to each other.
Nice.
All right, and Irina. Most of the enemies are down. The dwarf appears to be wrestling with one of the enemies, however.
Seeing how majority of them got down and there's only one left, she's more curious about what's now on the roof and where those two went to go. But she will obey her orders and she will stand guard next to the door and keep her action held.
Remember what Primrade said before. You know, if you want an excuse to come out, wait until he's at the perfect position to be beneath your sword. I kind of do have him in a grapple.
Yeah, you kind of do. All right. And we are at time. So we're going to go ahead and we've reached the bottom of the round. So we're going to go ahead and leave it here. I need to make a note to myself of the fact that Rictavio and the other friend ran off in response to something on the roof, and we will find out what is going on the rest of this piece next week, and hopefully the DM's roll 20 won't be so damn slow next time, because we could have knocked this fight out in about 15 minutes, I think, if it hadn't been for the stupid slow thing on this.
Considering, Gally, you did a great job, bro. Well done.
All right, well, thank you. And chat, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us this evening, putting up with the problems with our technology. I'll be curious to see what you guys think about using the dynamic lighting, whether from a chat standpoint, whether you like that better, or whether you prefer the view that we have been doing before. It is a little easier to set up than the Fog of War once you get the tokens all right, but it does have that annoying feature that means I have to put a token on the board on the streaming computer so that you guys can see what's on the map. We'll have to figure out what if Roll20 can do anything about that. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And before we go, as per usual, I want to find out from Dorzafir and from Paul what is coming up on their channels this weekend, or before next Thursday. So, Paul, do you have anything going on between now and next Thursday?
Not myself personally, but the Action Sturge, as always, has the Dungeon Crawl, which is seeing some great viewership and good times. So I would wholeheartedly suggest, if you're bored on a Wednesday at about 8 p.m. CST, and you got nothing else you want to do, just come check them out. They're funny.
Okay, wonderful. And Michael, over on the Doors of Fear channel, will you be showing people how to bake pizza all weekend?
No, I have to work Saturday and Sunday. So Friday, if right now I received a message earlier tonight that one of my players might not make it. We only have 4 at the moment. No, he's not going to die. No, he might not be able to make the game Friday night. So we might postpone this week's game. But if we do, I might end up playing some Sea of Thieves or something fun.
Okay. All right. Yes. All right. And then here on this channel, Saturday night, we will be having another session of character creation for the 2nd edition Greyhawk campaign. Sunday afternoon, we'll be doing the Walker of Waterdeep. Hope Ken will be back from his travels and able to join us, but Heather will be there and Ivy will be there for that game on Sunday. And they could actually be leaving Kamigawa during this session and going somewhere else. So that could be fun. And then Monday night, we'll be doing a Monster Monday. I haven't selected which monster we're doing yet. The Basilisk the other night was a lot of fun. We had a lot of good participation from chat on that one. So you guys can come and watch on Monday night, 8 p.m., where we do Monster Monday. We detail the history of a monster from D&D. And I always try to find something that's rather a popular current thread on Reddit and other places to figure out which monster we should detail. So we will talk to you then on, I'll see some of you hopefully on Saturday for the game, and Sunday, and Heather, you have something fun going on this weekend, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, it's not related to a stream, but go ahead and tell everybody about it.
This will be the first weekend of our living history at Fort Atkinson in Nebraska. And my sister and I both run the Sutler store, which is kind of like the 1820 version of a modern BX on a military base. So we've actually made it more into a little bit of a gift shop, but we try to keep things as close to the time period as possible. So yeah, we'll be opening that up. It's a state historical park, and yeah, it's going to be a long weekend. It's supposed to be in the mid to high 80s, and when you're wearing 3 layers of clothes, even cotton, it makes it a little bit on the uncomfortable side. So
yeah,
You got this.
Oh, I know, I got it. But we're gonna spend. My sister and I both wound up taking a vacation day for tomorrow because just due to the COVID pandemic, we've got to completely set things up differently. Due to what the state of Nebraska has regulations and stuff like that. So, yeah, so we're still trying to get stuff cleaned up from it all being closed down for a full year, and then having to make all of these changes and everything, and trying to make sure that we're keeping things safe and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, tomorrow's going to be a fun day.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a busy weekend.
So when I come back in on Sunday, I am going to try to be here by 1:00. And if I'm just sitting here going on the other end of the line, you know that it's just Heather's lost it for the weekend.
Okay. Plenty of caffeine
God, yeah.
caffeinated beverages of your choice to keep you up and going for the D&D game on Sunday. All right. Well, everyone, thank you so much. I'm going to move us back over to the slate, and then I'm going to look and see if anybody from the small streamer community is doing something tonight, so we can go raid their channel and see what's going on. And okay. Oh, Attack Rack is doing some art. Oh, Octodad. That looks like an interesting game. Okay. I became a squid dad. Octodad. Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and we will raid Girl Thulu. No, it would help if I spelled raid correctly. All right. So, everyone, hope you have a great week. Hope we'll see some of you on some of the streams. And don't forget, you can check out the archives of everything over on the YouTube channel. And we will talk to you later. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right. And we are out.
Good sesh.
Okay.
Good sesh.
Yeah,
Good
that was
sesh.
fun.
Yeah.